Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Disney. Disney Plus has been canceled in TESLAS, a Marvel star has been fired, and their stock is still down billions of dollars. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Coming from Electrek, Tesla removes Disney Plus from vehicles amid Elon Musk's Twitter beef with Bob Iger. From ABC News, Marvel and Disney drop actor Jonathan Majors after he's convicted of assaulting his former girlfriend. And I hate to say I told you so, but if you follow my channel, I did tell you so. From Bloomberg, addicted to Disney, why ex-executives find it hard to stay away. Get inside the mind of Bob Iger. Activist investor who's trying to turn around and fix Disney, Nelson Peltz, made this very important statement about why they're after Disney. Quote, "Since we gave Disney the opportunity to prove it could right the ship last February, up to our re-engagement weeks ago, shareholders had lost around $70 billion of value. It's about the money. It's not personal." Also, why 5 activist investors have recently taken positions in Disney. It's not just Nelson Peltz. 4 others have been interested in Disney. At least one of them is on Bob Iger's side, and I do think that Bob Iger put them up to it, but the rest of them have pointed out obvious problems with managing the company, Bob Iger's choices, and the board's support of whatever Bob Iger says he wants to do. It's clear they need a lot of change. Tesla has removed Disney Plus from some of its vehicles amid Elon Musk having an online fight with Disney CEO Bob Iger. Oh, so Bob Iger thought there was nothing that Elon Musk could do to him, did he? Well, Bob Iger has effed around and he's going to find out. The fight started when Disney halted its advertising on Twitter after Musk agreed with and amplified a comment that some said was anti-Semitic. I don't think it was anti-Semitic, for which he eventually apologized. Every week there's a new drama with Elon Musk on Twitter. It sometimes indirectly affects Tesla, but this time it affects it directly. The current drama stems from Musk agreeing with a controversial post on Twitter, which he didn't initially apologize for, though admitted it was a mistake a week later. He further apologized, but was already attacking Disney. In the meantime, the result was a massive backlash where many companies stopped advertising on Twitter, including Apple and Disney. Musk took a particular issue with frequent right-wing target Disney in the interview. When he apologized for the tweet, he attacked advertisers for pulling out almost in the same breath. He also decided to single out Disney, which he sees as being infected by the woke mind virus, by saying, "Go F yourself" to advertisers, and then saying, "Hey Bob," which was targeted at CEO Bob Iger, who Musk believed was in the room. Musk has in the past propped up Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who was in a huge fight with Disney. Now Musk seems to have made another move against Disney, but this time through an unrelated public company he runs, Tesla. Electrek heard from a source that Tesla informed Disney Plus last week that it would remove its native app from the Tesla theater in its vehicle without giving a reason as to why. Although I'm sure Bob Iger can figure it out by now. A few days later, Tesla told Disney that it would only remove the app for Tesla owners who never used the app before. The automaker now appears to have acted on the threat, as many Tesla owners are reporting not seeing the Disney Plus app in Tesla Theater anymore. Others, presumably those who have used the app before, are still seeing the app available in their cars. Tesla originally added Disney Plus in Tesla Theater back in its holiday update in 2021. Electrek was told that Tesla didn't officially give a reason to Disney, but the message was sort of read between the lines. If Disney decides they want to be involved with social media platforms, then do much worse than what Twitter has been doing with plenty of illegal content, and they're going to single out Twitter, it's up to them. At the same time, Elon's in control of his companies, and if he decides he doesn't want to do business with Disney, Elon also doesn't need to do business with Disney. There are tens of millions of people that have pointed out that Disney has turned into a very dark, woke company. If Elon Musk feels that way and doesn't want to be associated with them, that's his business. Now, from ABC News, Jonathan Majors has gotten himself into some serious trouble. He's been convicted of assaulting his former girlfriend. He went through the trial. He did not win. Jonathan Majors was convicted Monday of assaulting his former girlfriend after a trial that he hoped would vindicate him and restore his status as an emerging Hollywood star. It did just the opposite. Marvel Studios and the Walt Disney Company dropped him hours after the verdict. Majors was lucky that things lasted this long. Disney was very generous with him to be patient with him during the period up until when he had the trial. With all of the hashtag believe all women stuff that's been going around over the last couple of years and all the evidence that was out in the public, there was really no reason for Disney to continue to associate themselves with Jonathan Majors, except if they were worried about blowback about getting rid of him before the end of his criminal trial. Jonathan Majors sharing his ex's text messages to try to prove that he was innocent in public was a very bizarre move and was not something that ever had a chance at working. It was clearly a panic move of someone that was trying to utilize a media narrative that his ex would not have been able to match, even if it was the truth. Very inappropriate to do, and that's when I knew this guy's guilty. Anyone who works with a major company is going to have some kind of a morals clause, especially in entertainment. The morals clause is going to allow whoever the employer is to fire that person at a moment's notice if they do something that embarrasses or endangers the reputation of the company. Yes, this is Disney we're talking about. They've ruined their reputation. But even so, they do have a standard morals clause contract in all their big contracts. And at the moment they started to get negative publicity for the company would be in a position to get rid of that person. I have not seen John Majors' contracts with Disney, but I can assure you he has a morals clause just like everyone else normally does. A Manhattan jury found Majors guilty of 1 misdemeanor assault charge and 1 harassment violation stemming from his March confrontation with then-girlfriend Grace Jabari. She said he attacked her in a car and left her in excruciating pain. His lawyer said Jabari was the aggressor. Majors, who was acquitted of a different assault charge of aggravated harassment, looked slightly downward and showed no immediate reaction as the verdict was read. He declined to comment as he left the courthouse. Marvel and Disney immediately dropped the Creed 3 star from all upcoming projects following the conviction, said a person close to the studio who spoke on a condition of anonymity because he wasn't authorized to speak publicly about it. Before his arrest, Majors had been on track to become a central figure throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing the antagonist role of Kang. Majors has already appeared in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and the first 2 seasons of Loki. He was to star in Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, dated for release in May 2026. Majors, whose credits include The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Devotion, and Da 5 Bloods, had been one of the fastest rising stars in Hollywood. The Yale School of Drama graduate also starred as a troubled amateur bodybuilder in Magazine Dreams, which made an acclaimed debut at the Sundance Film Festival in January and was set to open in theaters this month. Ahead of Majors' trial, Disney-owned distributor Searchlight Pictures removed Magazine Dreams from its release calendar because he was going on trial for assaulting his girlfriend. Majors' sentencing was set for February 6th. He faces the possibility of up to a year in jail for the assault conviction, though probation or other non-jail sentences are also possible. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said in a statement that the trial illustrated a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse and escalating patterns of coercion. The dispute between Majors and Jabari began in the back seat of a chauffeured car and spilled into the streets of Manhattan. Jabari, a 30-year-old British dancer, accused Majors of hitting her in the head with his open hand, twisting her arm behind her back, and squeezing her middle finger until it fractured. This is really important to take a note to just say men should never be getting physical with women and women not with men. But if you're a man and you do this, especially in today's society, you're going to get the punishment you deserve and maybe even worse than that. So it's never worth it to put hands on somebody. Majors' lawyers allege that she flew into a jealous rage after reading a text message from another woman on his phone. They said Jabari had spread a fantasy to take down the actor who was only trying to regain his phone and get away safely. Okay, but also here's another note. If you're going to see someone and you're not going to see them exclusively, you need a backup phone. You need one for the girls that you cheat with and one for your regular phone. And don't take out the cheat phone in front of this other girl. However, as Majors sought vindication from the jury, the trial also brought forth new evidence about his troubled relationship with Jabari, whom he met on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania 2 years ago. So that disaster of a movie now caused him a personal disaster. Prosecutors shared text messages that showed the actor begging Jabari not to seek hospital treatment for an earlier head injury. One message warned, quote, "It could lead to an investigation even if you do lie and they suspect something." So this isn't the first time he hurt her. They also played audio of Majors declaring himself a great man, then questioning whether Jabari could meet the high standards set by the spouses of the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and Barack Obama. Majors' attorneys countered that Jabari had surreptitiously recorded her boyfriend as part of a plot to destroy his career. I don't know if she wanted to destroy his career or not. Probably not. Maybe so. However, in abusive relationships, sometimes people do record the other person because there's so much gaslighting where people will say something wild and mean and then deny they ever said it. And people think they're going crazy, even if they don't share the recording with anyone. Obviously, she did here. Sometimes people make a recording just to prove to themselves that they're not crazy. Over 4 days of tearful testimony, Jabari said Majors was excessively controlling and prone to fits of explosive rage that left her afraid physically quite a lot. She broke down on the witness stand as a jury watched security footage of him pushing her back into the car after the backseat confrontation. Prosecutors described the video as showing Majors manhandling her and shoving her into the vehicle as if she was a doll. I mean, he's physically a lot stronger than she is. Why did she stay with him when they're like this? I'm no expert, but people do get trapped into relationships. It's not good for either one of them. And look how it turned out now for her and for John Majors. Really badly. Majors arrived in the courtroom each morning carrying a gold leaf Bible accompanied by family members and his current girlfriend, actress Megan Good. Expressionless for much of the testimony, he wiped away tears as his attorney urged jurors during her closing arguments on Thursday to end this nightmare for Jonathan Majors. I think the idea of him bringing his girlfriend to trial is not a good idea. But his attorney said her client was the victim of white lies, big lies, and pretty little lies, invented by Jabari to exact revenge on an unfaithful partner. The attorney cited security footage taken immediately after the shove that showed Majors sprinting away from his girlfriend as she chased him through the night. Jabari then followed a group of strangers she'd met on the street to a dance club where she ordered drinks for the group and did not appear to be favoring her injured hand. Quote, "She was revenge partying and charging champagne to the man she was angry with and treating these strangers to fancy champagne she bought with Jonathan's credit card," his attorney alleged. Okay, but just because she's trying to get revenge on him cheating on her and physically manhandling her, it doesn't mean that she's guilty of something, does it? That just makes her version of events sound more credible. The next morning, after finding Jabari unconscious in the closet of their Manhattan penthouse, Majors called police. He was arrested at the scene while Jabari was transported to a hospital to receive treatment for the injuries to her ear and hand. He called 911 out of concern for her and his fear of what happens when a black man in America came true, accusing police and prosecutors of failing to take seriously Majors' allegations that he was bloodied and scratched during the dispute. It certainly seems to be that if he got to his apartment and he's got this girlfriend who's now physically injured and unconscious in a closet, yes, he can call 911 out of concern for her, but leaving her in the closet for even worse things to happen potentially because of her injuries, like that is also self-preservation. It really doesn't make him a hero at that point to call 911. In her closing arguments, prosecutor Kelly Galloway said Majors was following a well-worn playbook used by abusers to cast their victims as attackers. Quote, "This is not a revenge plot to ruin the defendant's life or his career," Galloway said. "You were asked, why are you here? Because domestic violence is serious." From Bloomberg, addicted to Disney, why ex-executives find it hard to stay away. Well, Disney is suddenly teaming with former executives. A number have returned or are angling to come back, from retired Chief Executive Officer Bob Iger, who resumed his duties a year ago, to former Chief Financial Officer Jay Rasulo, who is seeking a board seat as a part of a dissident investor group led by billionaire Nelson Peltz. In his book, The Hero's Farewell, What Happens When CEOs Retire?, Yale University professor Jeffrey Sonnenfeld chronicled several personality types who find it hard to leave. They include generals who retire reluctantly and then spend their time plotting a comeback. The pain of separation can be so great it threatens an executive's well-being, according to Adrian Jacques Ambrose, a Columbia University psychiatrist who studies life changes. When transitioning from a powerful leadership position to retirement, the potential identity loss can be anxiety-inducing and distressing, Ambrose said. Boomerang executives are nothing new. Steve Jobs returned to Apple Incorporated, and Howard Schultz did the same at Starbucks Corp. Disney seems to have more than its share. Rizzullo was part of an activist group that includes Isaac Perlmutter, the former head of company's Marvel division, who was fired earlier this year. And of course, it took a major battle to get rid of Michael Eisner, the former CEO of Disney, who Bob Iger came in to replace. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.